CM Punk versus Seth Rollins set for 6th of Jan.
Drew is still on the warpath.
New tag champs.
We take a quick look at Saturday night's main event.
And if there's one thing I'd urge you to take a look at on this video, then it's the Seth and Drew interaction. Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And CM Punk starts us off and he's mad with Seth Rollins. Cuts a very good impression of him and then admits that they are on a collision course. He's now ready to give Seth that free wrestling lesson he wanted all those years ago. Also claiming he doesn't think he's as tough as Drew McIntyre. I don't think he is either. Seth then does appear from the crowd, has a good look at Punk and calls him an Punk says you're in the right place with the rest of the CM Punk fans, with Seth saying he's not embarrassed by that, and then brings up the fact he's had more WrestleMania main events than he ever will. That's enough for Punk as he drops his mic, leaves the ring and heads into the crowd. Seth runs to meet him and the two begin to fight. They get separated but manage to escape and fight in the ring. Separated again and then fight in the crowd, and then finally get separated once again, with Punk seemingly livid. It's nearly Christmas, so give us an early present and give us a subscribe. If you do, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Backstage in the Judgement Day Den, and Finn Balor's asking what everyone was at Saturday night's main event when they left him to fight on his own during his match. Liv said she didn't think he needed help, and then tells him to focus on his match later against the War Raiders. She wishes him and JD luck before heading off to show Dom and Raquel something. Balor not looking happy when they leave.
As we come back from the break, Triple H introduces us to a new Raw logo. A pre-taped package, of course, before we catch up with Seth Rollins backstage tearing it apart. Adam Pearce is chasing after Seth, telling him to stop. Seth tells him to put the match on. Pearce barks back, if you two just stop for 10 minutes, I might be able to get something done. As Pearce storms off, Drew McIntyre casually walks up to Seth. Drew references Roman's speech from SmackDown, saying that once he's vanquished his family, the whole world will once again acknowledge him. Everyone is fooled but you and I, and that everyone that's enabling him needs taking out. Jay, Sami, Jimmy, and he ends with Roman. Seth replies saying, because we have this common cause, you think we're friends, adding that he took Roman out at WrestleMania with Jay and Sami at his side. They're his friends, you are not. He respects Sami, he respects Jay, but the jury's out with Drew. Seth then leaves, telling Drew he's going to do something he couldn't do, and that's end CM Punk.
Why does everyone want to end him?
I have no idea. Great segment, I thought, personally. Show opening, I thought. But guys, get on the same page. Take out Punk, and then go for Roman. Both of you. Come on, you're gunning for the same people. I could see a tag match down the line with this, personally.
Yeah. Fair.
Punk and Reigns, because they've had that.
Yes,
they've been together
teamed up
at Survivor Series versus Seth and Drew. The enemy of my enemy is my friend certainly fits Seth and Drew's narrative for both Punk and Reigns.
Yeah. Could
even be a WrestleMania match if neither party is involved in a title match, which personally I don't think they will be. I can't see, they're not top tier players, but I don't think they're involved in the title race at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that for Mania. That is mind-blowing.
That would be good.
They are your biggest stars.
Yeah, definitely.
They are the top dogs.
Agree, disagree, tell us what you think in the comments below, because that is one tag match that I would absolutely love to see.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. Right, Bron Breakker versus Ludwig Kaiser next for the Intercontinental Championship. Kaiser slaps Breakker, with Breakker asking, what's all this slapping about, before running the ropes, 23 miles an hour apparently.
Nice.
And clotheslining Kaiser, with Kaiser then rolling out the ring. Back from the break and Ron's dominating in the ring with mounted punches, a takedown and a 2-count pin. Kaiser escapes the ring again, Bron follows by jumping from the apron, taking out Kaiser over the announcer's table. Back in the ring, Kaiser works over Bron's left shoulder before drop-kicking Breakker into the turnbuckle.
Back from yet another break and Kaiser is still on top, still working the arm and even going for a pin, only for a 2. Breakker drops Kaiser with a knee, with both men now down. Breakker's up first and manoeuvres Kaiser to the top rope before pulling out the Frankensteiner and covering for 2. Ludwig hits the Kaiser roll and gets a 2 before working over the shoulder again and then pushing Bron out of the ring. Kaiser looks around and you know what's coming, with Breaker down near the ring steps. Kaiser leaves the ring, and as he gathers steam round in the final corner to dropkick Breaker, he sees that Breaker isn't there. He turns around to see Breaker charging at him, with Bron shoulder tackling him. They get back in the ring, Kaiser's super speared and then covered. This time it works as Breaker gets the 3 count and retains his Intercontinental Championship.
No, I enjoyed this. I'm not really into Kaiser, but to be fair, I especially like him working over Breaker's arm and his shoulder. He made a change to his moveset, seeing as that's the word of the moment. Breaker, on the other hand, sort that Frankensteiner out. Enjoy the moment. It's too quick and it makes it look poor. You're on the mat and your opponent's still sitting on top turnbuckle.
It's because he's that quick.
He's too quick. Just slow down a little bit. You know, enjoy the moment. Just relax. Backstage, we see New Day about to enter the locker room when Rey Mysterio exits. Woods asks if he has a problem with them too, to which Rey replies that it's not just me, it's everyone in there. Kofi says after 10 years nobody has our back, with Rey saying they crossed the line with Big E and think it's best for their own good that they find somewhere else to change.
We then get a recap of Saturday night's main event, and after watching Rhodes retain his title, we get to see what happened after the match, with Kevin Owens delivering a package power-driver to Cody Rhodes, which I've no doubt you've all seen. We then learn that Rhodes has suffered an axial compression to the cervical spine and that he's at home resting, so he's got Christmas off as well.
That's nice, isn't it? We have a vignette from the Raw Raiders next, telling us they're ready to go to war and that they're stronger than ever.
Backstage, we hear from Kathy Kelly, and she asks Adam Pearce what matches we can expect January 6th on Netflix.
January the 6th, you say?
Yes, January 6th, Netflix.
Get in your diary.
Aside from the Super Tribal Chief match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, we now have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I'm hoping it doesn't come to a conclusion and it does continue throughout the year.
Oh yeah, you can't just end it in one...
No.
Just because you're like, oh, January 6th Netflix. No, let's have it for the whole year.
Yeah.
Raw is just not January the 6th. It does continue through the year.
Does it?
Yeah, I think we're stacking this a bit too much. We'll hear from Liv Morgan next in the ring with Dominic Mysterio and Raquel Rodriguez, who has brought along a loud hailer. As Dom tries to speak, he gets booed, so Liv takes over, grabbing the loud hailer and saying she's the greatest women's champion of all time. She says if you think she's had a great year this year, wait till next year. As a crowd jeer her, Rhea Ripley's music plays and she comes out, goes straight into the ring. Rhea says that this has gone on for too long and that Adam Pearce has made her the #1 contender for Liv's belt. No dates are given, but I was half expecting them to say the title match would be on January the 6th.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
I mean, this is going to be like a 6-hour show. It's ridiculous.
Backstage again, Jackie Redmond's walking after Seth Rollins, saying you're getting what you want, regarding his match with Punk on January 6th.
Oh, it's a surprise.
When we hear something in the background, the camera pans over and we see Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn fighting, but before it gets going though, they get, of course, separated.
Back from the break, we see The Miz trying to worm his way out of the Final Testament Wyatt Six feud by telling AOP and Paul Ellering they don't need him. When Karrion Kross appears, Miz says they beat the Six, so it's over. Kross replies by saying what they did to Paul and Scarlett and adding it isn't over until he says it's over. Kross then orders Miz to go and find Adam Pearce to organise a match between himself, Miz, and Dexter Lumis for next week. I mean, I don't think I could be any more bored of this feud. It's just... Wyatt Six bore me, Kross bores me, AOP bore me. They don't... It's just...
Yeah.
I'm not saying Kross can't talk, but I just find
It doesn't get much time on...
No, because everything... No, because I think everything else is more interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, as I say, Punk, Seth, and now you've got Drew involved. Now you've got Sami involved. You've got Judgement Day.
Yeah.
This is just like an afterthought. And the
way
the way the Wyatt Six have gone after their feud with Alpha Academy, not Alpha Academy, American Made, it's boring. Move on. I've had enough of them. Split them up already.
Fair. Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament first round match next, which is a triple threat match between Zoey Stark, Raquel Rodriguez and Kayden Carter. Rodriguez dominates the other two to start with until Stark kicks Rodriguez on the apron and then Rodriguez kicks Stark. The two then end up on the outside with Carter corkscrewing over the top rope, taking out both her opponents. Back from the break, and Carter seems to be in charge, covering Stark, with Rodriguez pulling her off on one. Rodriguez then tosses Stark out of the ring, with Carter then springboard basement drop kicking Raquel and covering her for two. We then get a bit of back and forth between the three of them before Stark drop kicked Rodriguez, as she's about to Tajina bomb Carter. With Raquel out of it, Stark Z360's Carter, covers her and gets the victory, progressing to the semi-finals of the Women's Intercontinental Tournament.
I thought it might have been Rodriguez.
Me too.
But, yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Backstage, Alpha Academy, not American made, are talking with R-Truth when Pete the Butch Dunne appears. Dunne warns Truth one last time about calling him Butch, when Otis gets between them. Truth and Dunne then head off in different directions, with American Made, not Alpha Academy, then appearing. Gable says they've ruined his academy, then says he's there to pretty much end them, starting with Tozawa. So is that going to be a match on Netflix Jan 6? Gable Tozawa?
Everyone else is having a
Well,
match.
mate, well, yeah, just chuck them in.
Back from the break, we get this symbol. And then we see the New Day with Jackie Redmond. Redmond says that she sees they're still looking for a locker room. I mean, there's no point now, guys. The show's basically done. We then hear a woman screaming. As the camera goes over to the incident, we see PFC running away from an attack that's been carried out on Kairi Sane. It appears that Zoey Stark, presumably, has slammed and then trapped Sane's hand in a storage/cargo box, seemingly trying to take out her competition for the IC belt.
Nice strategy.
Like it.
Last match of the night, Judgement Days, Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships. Ivar gets power slammed onto JD by Eric before we head to a break. We come back to find the Raiders fully in control, Ivar swatting Balor away like a fly and then taking out both JD members before tagging in Eric. Eric continues the work, dealing with both JD members before tossing them out the ring. Revenge is swift though, as Balor pulls Eric from the ring, with the Judgment Day then throwing Eric into the ring steps twice.
Back from yet another break, and we see Eric kicking out of a pin attempt by JD on two. The two in-ring competitors then tag their respective partners, and in come Ivar and Balor. Ivar destroying Balor and JD when he enters the ring. Ivar drops a Bronco Buster on Balor, who's in the corner before climbing to the top rope, but Balor gets up, attacks Ivar and then tags in JD, who proceeds to climb up to Ivar and do nothing. Ivar leaps from the top rope with JD in his arms and crashes down to the mat. The resulting pin gets a 2 count. The Raiders then set up for their finisher, War Machine, on JD, but as Ivar heads to the ropes, Balor pulls him over it and falls to the outside. JD headbutts Eric and then tags in Balor, who sling blades Eric, shotgun drop kicks him, and then tags JD back in. As JD steps through the ropes, he re-tags Balor.
JD hits a moonsault on Eric, with Balor following up with a coup de grace and going for the pin. Ivar makes the save on two, just. Balor asks for a chair, so JD gets one, but as he tries to get back in the ring, the referee stops him. With the ref distracted, Balor leaves the ring to get another chair, but as he pulls it from the ring announcers section, it becomes stuck. So Balor pulls again. Still, the chair's not coming loose, so he turns around to see that Damian Priest is holding on to it. Priest pulls Balor into the barrier as we watch Ivar punch JD, dropping him to the mat. Ivar then tags in as we see JD roll out the ring and Balor roll in. Balor then gets set up for the War Machine, eats the mat, and then we watch as Ivar covers him, with the War Raiders becoming the new World Tag Team Champions. Raw goes off the air with Priest laughing and the War Raiders raising their newly won titles in the middle of the ring.
Nice. Don't mind that.
Seth Punk is readying nicely. Drew has just gone off script. Bron Kaiser, enjoyable.
Yeah.
Women's match needs to slow down a little bit. I think they're trying to get a bit too much in.
It's hard when it's a triple threat as well.
And I know it's all, you've got your sections, but less is more. Just slow down. And now that Balor has lost his titles, he is going to be furious.
So furious.
With Priest.
Saturday night's main event pretty much went as we expected. Well, exactly as we expected, really, considering we both got the winners of each match spot on. We saw the real WWE Championship belt, of course, but aside from that, and Owens attacking Cody at the end, nothing noteworthy, really.
These kind of shows, in my opinion, need to be a little bit different. Put different people together, you know, Solo versus Priest. I mean, You never seen that?
Yeah.
Why not do it? Or a mixed tag of Green and R-Truth, because they are the comedy characters, versus Rodriguez and Carlito, because those two don't want to be together.
They're in the same team.
And they've got to coexist.
Yeah,
That's a word we've not heard for a long time. Just mix it up. Give me a reason to watch. You have your main stories that are your staple on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
The payoffs at the pay-per-views. This is where you can try new things for a television audience and see how it flies, I think. But it's...
Yeah. Any comments or views you'd like to share, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section below.
And we will get back to you if anybody does say anything. Thank you again for watching.
And we'll see you Saturday for SmackDown.